Okay. Well, thank you for attending this webinar. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending where you are. Thank you again for joining this webinar. Um, I hope you are not surprised, but nowadays most of webinars are having trouble to attract attendees because I guess this is common practice to many people. You sign up for a webinar and you just wait until you get another email with the link where you can watch the recording. I think people are now had enough with Zoom or webinars and so on. So again, I'm very thankful you're attending the webinar. You don't have to turn on cameras. Just make yourself comfortable. And in the next about 15 to 20 minutes, and I will briefly talk about the Global Higher Education program, and I will make sure that you will have enough time to ask me any questions. Since we have only here a total of three attendees, I highly encourage you to interrupt me at any point if you have questions. That's totally fine. And so I would love to chat with you rather than give you a presentation almost like AI, right? Okay, without further ado, I'm going to start my presentation. And so my name is Weijia Li. I'm the director of the Global Higher Education program, which is a master's degree program housed in the Department of Educational Leadership and Policy Analysis here at UW-Madison. This program means a lot to me because this is a program I created 13 years ago. I have been running this program for 13 years. It has been a great fortune and pleasure working with so far 157 alumni and nine current students. So that's to a great extent, it has enriched my own life, both as you know, a professor, a program director, but also as a human. So this program means a lot to me. I'm not planning to cover everything that you can find easily on our website. I put the URL in the chat. You can explore our website. You can scan the QR code. Will also bring you to the website. Overall, the website, all the contents, all the structures I designed it with some, professional IT people with help from them. Basically, when I created the website, I was thinking what kind of questions I'm getting every year from prospective students, from current students. So I'm trying to basically use the website almost like a Q&A, try to answer all the potential questions that, that students may ask me. So I'm proud of the website that I think is very informative, probably has more information, probably too much information. I'm thinking, how to make it still user friendly. But for today's presentation, I will just highlight something that make our program really stand out, the kind of specific features or characteristics that I'm very proud of, but also based on the feedback from all of our alumni, who's telling me that those are the characteristics that attract them to the program, that they are proud of, that they are graduates from this program. Um, so like I said, you can find all kinds of information all the way from alumni job placement to what courses you can take, when are the deadlines and how to apply, how to write the application essay, and also last but not least, what we are most proud of, the so-called cohort model or the so-called family-like learning community. Um, I often got, asked by prospective students, even their parents, what is the program about, what can students get, what kind of jobs they will be able to land on after they graduate. So generally speaking, we provide the three tracks, if I may put it this way. First of all, we are specialized in training professionals in the field of international education. As when I was created the program, that was the first master degree program in this country specialized in training people working in the field of international higher education. For example, I'm just listing some examples, mostly based on job titles like international student advisors, study abroad advisors, international admission counselors, and international education program managers, coordinators, and so on. So about more than a third of our alumni are, um, getting jobs in this field or track. The second track I call the field of student affairs in higher education. Those are some conventional job titles like academic advisors, career advisors, success coaches, admission counselors, but not in international, mostly domestic, or any kind of degree program coordinators, program managers, and so on. The third track is mostly designed, I said mostly, not exclusively, mostly for our students who would like to get a PhD degrees either right after this program or they would get a job after graduation from this program, then work 2 or 3 years, then come back to graduate school and then get PhD degrees. So about 30 to 40% of our students will eventually choose pursuing PhD degrees in educational sciences, broadly speaking. So the program's designed in the way we are trying to serve three different type of populations or students based on their career goals, their academic goals, their um, uh, i- interest or preference in kind of job selections and so on. On our website, you can easily find a list as an example where our graduates got their first job. Um, I think it's very important because I felt like nowadays some universities, some programs just list a imagined job titles to the prospective students, almost like saying this is a job you could get in theory if you attended the program. We are listing the actual job titles um, of our graduates as based on their first job. So just to give you kind of general idea about where our alumni um, got their first jobs. And also on the website, we provide the list. Remember, I just said 30% at least of our students choose to pursue PhD degrees. So I also list the universities that offer PhD admissions to our graduates since 2013 all the way till this year. Um, some of the institutions almost like admit our students every year. So you don't see a lot of institutions because those are institutions we tend to kind of a target and in order to help our students prepare very well in terms of their PhD applications. So, you can also find some data on our website, such as 76% of our alumni. Actually, I should update the number, a total of 157 by December 2025, pursuing professional careers. And 24% of our alumni choose to obtain PhD degrees. The pictures I'm showing here are actually showcase that our alumni, the first two pictures, upper and lower on the left side, this is our alumni reunion. UW-Madison as a university has hired so far 2 dozen of my former students. So so that's why it's very easy for us to have alumni reunion on a regular basis. So basically, those are the alumni graduating in different years, working at the different offices. We have also alumni working at the local other higher ed institutions like Madison College. So we have regular get together. Um, then you have also you see also two pictures showcase the graduation ceremony where I had the wonderful joy and honor to have photos with my graduates. Our job placement rate is very impressive, 93% or above in any given year since 2013. At least 50 to 70% of our graduates receive job offers prior to their graduation. And also, maybe you would be surprised, our job placement rate during the pandemic from 2020 to 2022 is 100%. Um, I think we're doing very well in terms of supporting our students in their career development, job hunting, and so on. And the success rate of our graduates receiving PhD program admission offers is also around 93% between 2015 and 2023. So you may be asking why we have such impressive job placement rate. I think it's because there are three reasons. First of all, we have embedded professional development program. We encourage students to do internship. We help students find on-campus part-time job employment opportunities. We provide career workshops. We teach students how to write resumes, how to write cover letters. But before that, we teach students how to read and analyze job descriptions. I also teach students about how to, prepare for job interviews, especially during the AI age, right? How to make your job application and your performance AI proof. And we're also trying to find opportunities for students to get internship both on campus or off campus. And I think also very important, we teach or train students how learn how to balance between work and study. I always tell students their mental health and their happiness are my priorities, right? So because all the three are supporting each other, that's three different aspects. That's why we have been very successful in terms of supporting our students in their career development. In terms of how long you're going to spend at the program in order to get a degree, we provide the three opportunities. Most of our students nowadays will spend 1.5 years. So they will come in the fall semester, then will be graduating in the second fall semester, which made a 1.5 year, about so. And we do provide a 1 year intensive track. Some students would prefer to graduate within 12 months. They will come in also at the same time in fall semester. Then they will be graduating in summer term. So approximately mid of August. We have occasionally some international students who are getting their government scholarship. And as part of their national policy, their government wants them to stay as long as possible here in the United States. So they would like to stay at least 2 years at this program. And we also have students who were able to get a full-time job alongside the program. So mostly on the campus of UW-Madison. So for those students, they would like to slow down because they don't have the rush and they don't have to find another job after graduation. So we work with each individual student, regardless how long you can spend in the program, whether it's 12 months, 1.5 year, or 2 years. We work with you on your individual course plan, timeline for graduation. Um, so typically we ask the students to decide basically when they want to graduate after first 2 months of the study at the GG program. So around, I would say in November of the first fall semester. So we can work with students to make like a long-term plan. That doesn't mean you cannot change your mind, right? If you plan to graduate in summer, but somehow you would like to extend it to the next fall, that's totally fine. We will just change the plan and work with students. Um, so if you originally plan to graduate in a 1.5 year, but you want to extend to 2 years, that's totally fine. The only thing that we cannot provide to students is like you plan to graduate in 2 years. We work with you on an individual plan. You're taking only two courses each semester in the summer. You suddenly decide to graduate. Just logistically, it's impossible. So that's how the different timeline and the tracks are working. To just to give you a kind of overview about what courses you will be taking. We don't call it required courses or elective courses. Actually, we consider courses in three blocks. One is higher education content courses, as you see, mostly have to do with higher education policy, leadership, administration, student affairs, governance, and so on. Then we have the research method block. This is mostly for students who are interested in getting PhD degrees in the future, but all students will be required to take at least one research method class because I think it's important for master students. And then we have the core courses. Core courses are the courses that make us special. Typically are the courses you will not be able to take if you go to any other universities. Those are not the standard graduate course offered in education at the master level. Those are kind of our signature courses. Um, like the first three, I designed the first three. I've been teaching the first two since 2013. So we design those courses based on two things. First of all, what kind of students we have. Secondly, what is the demand on the job market? I think this is a very unique strength of this program. We do curriculum kind of change almost on annual basis based on what are the latest trends and demands on job market. Such as the fourth course in the core course block, you can see we traditionally offer a course is called the decolonization of higher education in a global context. Because previously that was a very trendy topic, especially for those who are interested in working in the field of study abroad. You advising American students to study abroad and how can we avoid to perpetuate the colonial mindset, right? But just starting this year, we develop another new course at AI in higher education administration because this is what's going on, and we think students need to be well prepared for the job market, regardless, how AI will develop and whether AI will have impact on the labor market, but we want our students to be prepared. Um, I'm most proud about our cohort model or the so-called family-like learning community. As the pictures here show that we are celebrating, end of semester together. Students are working together on multiple research projects, both in class but outside of class. Students and me, we're going to a conference, the largest professional conference, NAFSA annual conference together. We're also having monthly dinner together where students and I, we meet once a month for dinner. We just chat. And, students always help each other, both in the course, but also outside of the classroom. Um, I think what makes this program special, I would say, is we have the very intensive individualized advising and career coaching. Um, it's really we help students. I treat myself almost like a coach, and the students are, like athletes. And you tell me what's your goal, what's your time plan, and we work together based on your, goal, your strengths, areas you need to grow. Um, the pictures here you see here on the left side, those are the pictures taken at the NAFSA conference, the largest professional conference in North America. And about 70 to 90% of our students will have presented at NAFSA conference before they graduate. I don't know whether you think this is impressive or not, but let me tell you, here at UW-Madison, most of the professors don't believe that master students are ready to present at a national conference. This is kind of considered as what PhD students, you know, could deliver. Um, but I've been training students very well. So since 2017 till this year, like I said, 60 to 90% of our students um, got their proposals accepted, invited, and to present. This year, I'm working with a very small cohort, a total of six students. Five of them got their proposals accepted, and they will be presenting at the NAFSA conference 2026 in Orlando, Florida. So I'm just use this example to also tell other faculty members, professors, staff, you know, let's just stop, spreading the myth that the master students are not ready for national conferences. If we are giving them the really intensive training, advising, coaching, and we really care about their success and also their well-being and the mental health, they are going to be the most productive graduate students on the campus. So, one more thing I want to emphasize before I will invite you to ask me any questions you have. The pictures here are, you can see from all the alumni. Each picture indicates one cohort, actually one family. We promise to our alumni lifelong alumni support. This is not just to be nice. It actually what happens now. I'm having at least two meetings on weekly basis with alumni. Those are the alumni who maybe just graduated last year, or maybe alumni who graduated 3 years ago, 4 years ago. We created this kind of family-like vibe or atmosphere or relationship that our alumni always trust each other, also trust me. They feel extremely comfortable to come back to me when they have, another plan for their career. They ask me a question like, should I get another job? How can I get along with my supervisor? Should I now negotiate for a high salary? Should I develop a new research project? So I have been doing this, kind of, I call it alumni consulting meeting, on weekly basis. Because we have 157 alumni, and all of them are still in touch with me. But not just with me, they are still in touch with each other. Many of them are becoming lifelong friends. We have alumni who are even collaborating together on some national projects, even 5 years after their graduation. So this is literally what we perceive as a family-like learning community. I literally tell students I'm expecting you can treat each other as siblings, and not just during the program, but also after graduation and forever. On our website, you can read a lot of alumni testimonials about the program, about the cohort. Um, I'm just going to skip this. You can read all this from the internet, from the website. Um, but this family-like learning community proved to be a very, very powerful supporting framework during the pandemic when we were having a social distance. Students were not able to have in-person classes, but we met, outside the classroom, regularly chat, have some fun together. That helped really build this um, kind of a, family. And especially students, where I'm showing here, this cohort had all their 10 courses online. And the picture were taken actually when we saw each other for the first time in person, because we all typically only saw each other on Zoom for the classes. But this cohort, because we have this idea of family-like learning community, they bonded so well. They saw each other, very often during the pandemic. This cohort bonded so well until today, and they still have like a reunion on a regular basis. So let me just repeat, the family-like learning community focus on career development and lifelong support alumni. I think are making this program very, very special and very successful. So I'm going to stop here and would like to give you time and opportunities to ask me any questions you have. Okay, I have a question in the chat already. I would like to ask you to tell us more about education policy track. What are its main differences from other tracks? Sorry, I cannot answer this question because I'm not running the education policy track in my department. If I'm going to say something, it will be unfair because I'm the one who is running global higher ed program. I do have strong, very strong personal bias because the GG program is like my child. So I would like to refrain to not talk about other programs, but feel free to reach out to whoever is a faculty member running the education policy track.
Dr. Lee, I was wondering how often are students in your program that are working full-time and then taking classes, and how does that work with the schedule?
Very good question. Actually, we have students who are full-time employee on UW-Madison campus every year. Every year we have at least one. Sometimes we even have three students who are full-time employees. There are two possibilities. Either you are enrolled as full-time graduate students while maintain your full-time employment. I know it's crazy, but it's doable. Actually, more than half of those full-time employees slash student did so. Several students choose to keep their full-time employment while enroll part-time as a graduate student. So, which means when other students are taking typically three or four courses, those students will be taking two courses, and then you're going to extend your program like to 2 years. So, like slowly but surely, you're going to finish the program. But altogether, I would say in order to be successful, in terms of both maintain a very sounding academic performance plus also, your full-time employment. I think first of all, you have to be good with time management, multitask management, and so on. But more important is actually that your supervisor and your coworkers understanding your situation are willing to provide the flexibility as possible. If
Thank
that's
you.
what you are planning, or at least imagine, feel free to let me know. I can get you connected with some of our alumni who used to be full-time employees plus full-time students at the same time. Some of them are still on the campus. They're still working full-time, of course. So you can learn from their experience. There was only one case in the past 13 years that student was struggling a little bit because his supervisor was giving him a hard time. So I reached out to his supervisor. I said, you want your supervisee to success, and you are the one who pushed them or encouraged them to pursue another degree. Now it's time you provided the actual support, not just lip service. Um, so then we solved that issue. So the supervisor changed his style or philosophy. I was happy that we were able to get things taken care of. But like I said, in the past 13 years, that was the only case. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll follow up by email then.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah.
Thank you. And
And
thank you for the
also, just
presentation.
you're not the first one ask me this question. There
Oh,
have
I'm
been
sure.
already two or three people ask me these questions. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, my youngest is graduating from college, and now I'm
Okay.
thinking about going back to school for my master's. So this is
Okay.
the time
Okay.
to be
Okay.
thinking about it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll follow up with an email.
Yeah, no problem. Or if you want, feel free to schedule a meeting with me. We can chat more in details.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
Yeah, you too. Okay, Katya, did I pronounce your name correctly? I don't know. Sorry. You're asking a question about whether it includes writing a master thesis. You're not required to write a master thesis. Here in the United States, more and more master programs no longer require writing master thesis because, frankly speaking, writing a master thesis is a wasting of time. It's wasting students' time, it's wasting professors' time, it's wasting everybody's time. So we don't require. But if you insist to write a thesis, you're welcome to do that. In the past, we had a student from Turkey, and he got a government scholarship, and that scholarship policy required him to write a master thesis. So you can do it. That's not a problem. And you can work with me as your thesis advisor. But we are not requiring anyone to write it. I hope I answered your question. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. My name is Lisette, and I am thank you for sharing everything. It was all really good. I think a question that I have is what is something that you look in prospective students, especially
Mm.
like in their applications, like what are some things that particularly stand out to you or to the administration who processes these applications? Like what are some things that you highly look for or highly encourage for applicants to consist of?
Very good question. Let me tell you first what I'm not looking for, or things that I don't think is relevant. First of all, you don't have to be perfect. Okay, I'm not looking for like a 4.0 GPA that you have lots and lots of work experience, leadership experience. I actually got tired of reading application essay that trying to portray someone as perfect. Um, I actually, if you look at our website that has an instruction about writing the application essay, I think one thing is very important for me is my question asking you, what would you like to do for us, right? For your peers, for other students? Because very often people write a lot about how great they are. To me, it almost sounds like you can do everything without me, without your peers, without other people. If you think you can do everything without other people, then this is not a good program for you. But if you're someone saying, I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to help my peer using my experience, using my knowledge, using my skills, so we can grow together, this is what I'm looking for, right? Um, so to me, this is the most important. I also don't really care. I care, but I don't care a lot about your how your personal experience made you believe that you want to start a career in the field of international education. Let's just be honest. Most of us don't know what we're going to do as a job until you really start and they realize, oh, you like it, right? Or you hate it, you just dump it. So I don't look for someone telling me I'm interested in education because of my childhood experience. I don't believe that. Even myself, I never thought about I would become a professor running such a program when I was a child. But tell me why you're interested in the kind of the international aspects of education, right? Because a lot of American students always think about, oh, higher education is about working with students like us, but what about other people? What about Americans who would like to study also in another country? And also, I do look for kind of, I don't know what would be the right word today to use without using the word DEI. I'm looking for people who are willing to learn about other cultures, other people's social, cultural background, learn about how a person's, experience identities may have impact on how they think, how they work, and so on. So to summarize what I said, I'm looking for a family member, right? That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for someone who is trying to apply because they are qualified. I'm looking for someone who is saying, I think I'm going to enjoy working, studying, and even living with my peers. So that's what I'm looking for.
Thank you so much. That is literally a very wonderful and very explanatory answer. I actually appreciate that a lot, and I like that a lot. Your answer. Another
Yeah.
question that I have, I saw that you like you said the conference, the NAFSA conference, connections like that and opportunities like that. What are some other examples? I noticed that like some of the universities that you mentioned for alumni that have gotten jobs in have been like international universities. I noticed Hong Kong University. I
Yeah.
noticed Yonsei University. Um,
Yeah.
in what ways does this program, the GHE program, prepare or connect students to get to that? Because I'm someone who's interested in international education and working abroad and both in the States or anywhere else.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I would like to know how you connect your students to those opportunities and those connections.
Yeah. Well, that's a wonderful question. First of all, most of our alumni who are working at university in other countries are because they are the citizens of that country, so they don't have to worry about the immigration paperwork. But we do have American alumni who got job in Sweden. We got American alumni. Yeah, she's working for a UK university, a university in the UK. Then we have a lot of American alumni who are traveling around the world to recruit international students here to United States. Yeah, I really like your question because you notice that the networking is very important, for a successful grad student. We believe that. Actually, we have a lot of training about how to do professional networking. In my class, it's going to be your assignment. Like it or not, you're going to try to get to know more professionals working in the field based on what kind of job you want to get, where you want to get the jobs, and so on. And students will spend the 2 semesters focusing on networking as kind of homework assignments. So we do a lot of this kind of professional networking training. But me and also many alumni graduate from the program, we have already a very extended professional network. So we actually basically just, share all our connections with our students. So that's why, just like you said, nowadays, uh, how quick and how happy you can find a job is very often depending on how many people you know and who are those people. So because of that, I really emphasize on professional networking.
Thank you so much. That is great to know, and I appreciate all your
Mhm.
answers.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
I'm having a meeting on Friday with one of my current student. She's telling me she was aiming at getting a job in Chicago and asked me, do I know someone in Chicago? I just look at my list. Oh yeah, I know some people. So that's what we do almost on a weekly basis. You tell me who you want to get to know, then I look into my network. Yeah. And the
That's
conference
amazing.
does help a lot for you to get to know a lot of people. Absolutely. And I also can share with you, we are the only master program that provides quite a lot of funding for our student go to conference because nowadays conference is so expensive. We provide, I think, more than any other master programs here at UW-Madison. Well, no, not UW-Madison, it's too much. This is School of Education. We are the program that provide funding to master students, so they can go to conferences.
That's great to hear. Thank you so much.
No problem. Good question. Very good questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, I think we're running time. Last question, comment. If not, I'm going to conclude the session. Okay. Well, thank you for attending the webinar. Feel free to reach out to me, and if you would like to chat more, just send me email. We can schedule another meeting via Zoom or in person, depending where you are, and then we can chat more about your specific questions or thoughts and so on. Okay. Have a good evening or good day, good afternoon. Bye.